Hey, I'm here with Dr. Bell. Doctor, how are you doing?
Ricky, so good to see you.
Doctor, if the people don't know who you are, can you tell us who you are and what you specialize in?
Well, I guess I'm a homeopathic renegade, out of place, ran out of time here in America because we lost our connection to natural medicine. And I grew up in a pharmaceutical medical family. So first 24 years of my life, I suffered with numerous chronic diseases, always met with medicines, drugs, and found a way through prayer. And the answer to the prayer wasn't a miracle healing like snap your finger, but it was meeting a homeopathic doctor, studying with him for 10 years and becoming something that I had no idea existed, natural medicine like this.
Wow.
And so 30 years later, I've been broadcasting on the air for 25 years now, bringing the power to heal back where it belongs with each and every one of us.
Amen. What does it look like transitioning from the pharmaceutical world into the homeopathic world? Because I know that's not a transition a lot of doctors make.
Yeah, it can be awkward, but it's fulfilling because the healing is actually what's happening finally. Rather than trying to poison people back to health, you're actually nourishing their bodies. You're helping remove the things that don't belong in there. And then you watch the miracle of creation work. It's magic, so to speak, because it knows what to do. We just kind of get in the way. So it was actually a beautiful thing, but it was frustrating only that I look back and go, how did I not know any of this? How are we so deceived? How do they lie so well that we don't even know these things exist, much less that they have such profound power to bring that healing back into our bodies?
There's probably a significant amount of Americans who are realizing that as well. And they're saying, I'm trying to make the transition myself to a more homeopathic lifestyle. I know Cardio Miracle is something that is going to help benefit them in this journey. How has it helped benefit you in your journey of switching to a homeopathic lifestyle?
Well, it's funny. I'd already been doing natural medicine and all organic for, almost 30 years at the time that I met John Hewlett and Cardio Miracle. So I was sort of reluctant to just embrace it. I was like, well, I'm doing pretty well here considering
Yes.
where I'd been. And as I began to look deeper into it, and I gave some Cardio Miracle to my producer who had recurrent migraines throughout his life. And months later, we hadn't even thought about it. We had a call to the show about migraines, and I always go to my producer, hey, you're the migraine guy. What do you think? And he's like, wait a second. I haven't had a migraine in months. What have I done differently? Cardio Miracle. I'm like, wow, this is interesting, isn't it? Circulatory support, how that a lot of vascular issues impact like headaches and migraines. And so I thought, this is real. And then the science behind it got me very intrigued. And I had been into fitness as well, even when I was chronically ill younger, but I was limited by my chronic ailments. So as someone who had been 30 years into now natural medicine in my 50s, I was doing kickboxing, doing amazing things.
In your 50s?
Yeah. And I was thinking, I'm doing all right. Why do I need that? But I saw that happen. I was like, I'm going to put it to the test now. And suddenly I was like, it took me to another level. My resting heart rate down, in the 40s sometimes. I'm, outpacing people in their 20s and their 30s, winning the challenge of the week in the gym. And I thought, well, this is something next level. And of course, when we enhance circulatory function, the nitric oxide sustained, of course, and everything else that's in there is a whole food type product. Oh my gosh, it's a difference maker. So I talk to people that obviously been on a lot of difficult circumstances, chronicities, et cetera, and they're just wanting to get moving again. And here I was already at what I thought was a peak level of fitness, and it took me to another level. So wherever someone is starting, I realize that it's going to enhance and get them on that road to recovery, or if they're already pretty good and they want to accelerate that excellence, an achievement in this body, that Cardio Miracle works in all cases.
So you're saying if someone is just beginning, they're saying, I've just started the journey of figuring out how I can better my life, this is a good product for them. And if they're also, like you said, you thought you were at peak performance, it also took you to that next level. This is also an incredible product. If someone doesn't know what Cardio Miracle is, what is it that makes Cardio Miracle different and makes it work in the human body?
Well, when we look at the discovery of nitric oxide and how significant it is, the question is, how do you produce it? And if you just look at it in an isolated fashion, you gotta go narrow down into the microcosm. You go, hey, look at this arginine and citrulline. We can really stimulate that. Beets, we can stimulate it. But you basically spike the nitric oxide production, but you don't back out of that view to the world view, if you will, of the body and say, what else happens when we spike nitric oxide? You'll see the rise of a dangerous free radical known as peroxynitrite. And what the brilliance is of many things that are brilliant, it's really like the God download for John to develop this for his own sake, much less all of us, that he included all these whole foods, the vegetables, the fruits, organic quality, and it counteracted because of its antioxidant inflow, the rise of peroxynitrite, the dangerous free radical. So you kind of neutralize and reduce that as a concern, right? Because you can have a temporarily benefit with nitric oxide and then have this rise of peroxynitrite, and suddenly you're out in inflammation again. You're like out but in. And so it's not a comprehensive overview when we look at just one thing. And that's the brilliance of Cardio Miracle. It's a whole food product that allows for, through water, the simplest way to re-nutrify the body. It's a nutrient or a nutrient blend, and that gives all of the body's pathways the sustenance it needs to function in balance, so that we're not corrupting even something that is really good because we have lost the forest through the trees, like looking at one thing only.
If somebody's on the fence right now about maybe trying Cardio Miracle for the first time, what would be your call to action to them?
Well, if you're realizing how important hydration is to the body, recognize water is critical for all electrical impulses flow and everything, but the minerals are key. Bringing that in water, which makes water even taste great for people who are like, I don't like to drink water.
Very true.
Now you're drinking something like fruity and delicious. That's good for you, and you're more inclined to hydrate as well as remineralize the body with everything that's in Cardio Miracle, and then sustain the production of that nitric oxide that enhances the blood flow, the vasodilation, the ease with which you can oxygenate the cells and remove the things that you don't need, enhancing things like autophagy, which is a cellular process of detoxifying and or recycling waste products for use efficiently. That's why people fast for that. I'll fast, but I'll fast with Cardio Miracle to enhance that as well. And also, a lot of people know how important vitamin D is now, but they might be taking too much and not getting the benefit. And what we know with this formulation, one of the things we found is that it activates the stored form of D that's stuck in the fat cells, and it activates it for the body's utilization. So you take less, but you get more benefit. And so you get that kung fu of every system of your body comes back to life.
Amen. In the world right now, there's a lot of different diets that people are going on right now. There's a lot of intermittent fasting happening. For those maybe wondering, am I able to add this into my everyday usage? Can I use this while I'm intermittent fasting? Can I use this when I'm on, something like a paleo or a keto diet? How does that work?
Well, absolutely. I utilize the Cardio Miracle during my fasts. In fact, I fast every Friday, and Cardio Miracle is a mainstay. It doesn't break the fast, it enhances it. It's an amazing thing. So the efficiency of the time you spent in fasting, a lot of times we're talking about extending telomere length. That's a big thing about, anti-aging concepts. I'm not against aging, but, I don't want to degenerate.
You want to
That's
age
the
well.
difference, right? Exactly. And so that's the life force flowing through you, but provided that you have the minerals adequate to kind of conduct all of that. So enhancing your fast, Cardio Miracle works really well with it. If you're on any kind of what you call a diet, whatever it is, paleo or the Cardio Miracle is only going to enhance your body's ability to utilize whatever diet you perceive is best for you, and then pay attention to your body, because it doesn't lie to you. It'll tell you if you're on the right track or if you need to modify. But having the blood flow, that communication, the epithelial, all of that, the endothelium, everything, that allows for that communication. So you kind of learn the language of your body, which we didn't learn growing up in America, most of us. And then you'll be on top of things, and you don't have to rely on experts, because the real expert is God, and God who created your body, and the cells are way, way more intelligent than we are.
Amen. We need to learn our bodies again. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Doctor, I want to thank you so much for taking this time to do this interview.
Ricky, it's always good to see you.
I hope many more people start drinking Cardio Miracle, because I believe it is something that will be life-changing for them.
It brings the power to heal back to you.
Amen.